Well, we have recognized that there is a very serious need for reopening of schools. And as we speak of that, we will speak from what we have seen from the first pandemic which we had. We went to total lockdown, and the government itself reopened the schools. They were among the institutions which were reopened in after the first lockdown. So I want to believe they agree with us that there is need for continuity or resumption of school. However, what is so disappointing that there has been a lot of sarcasm and reluctance by the government in ensuring that they take this issue as a priority. Personally, I agree with all forces and individuals who are saying that schools should reopen. We have seen a number of challenges our fellow students are experiencing. I would love to talk about, first of all, the lower school. These are kids who need continued guidance, and we have already seen schools as safer places for them. We have registered several of the teenage pregnancies. We have registered several of the forced marriages. Some of the parents feel they can no longer sustain taking care of their kids. They are forcing them into marriages. They don't have options. We have also seen our younger brothers and siblings involving themselves in a number of evil activities such as drug abuse, depending on the communities where they stay. So I want to believe that if that populace is kept into schools, it is better than when they are outside. But even when I try to move up the side, the education is timely. Some of us, our parents, have to hustle to get for us tuition, and they have a deadline of doing that. So how long are we going to keep them in suspense? That maybe you will finish in the coming 2 years. Education is timely, and when we look at its intention, we must continuously motivate the students to pursue their ambitions at the end of the day. But where the government itself loses interest or loses focus on education, it means that the nation is losing the actual track of it. Well, we saw yesterday the Minister of Education issuing out a statement that students, learners above the age of 18 should be vaccinated. But I've been saying that that is a shame, reason being the vaccines which were brought, first of all the doses, they were roughly 286,000. But people who had taken the first dose, awaiting the second dose, they were roughly 230. So when you try to get the balance, it is not even enough for the student population of Kyambogo University, cannot even fit a quarter of it. So that's why we are saying that there is a lot of mediocrity in a comprehensive plan to reopen institutions. And we saw also the Ministry of Health coming out and pronounced itself that for us, we said it's only the medical school students and their teachers who should be vaccinated, not the entire student population, which takes us back to zero. So that's why we are coming out to call upon not only students, but their teachers themselves, because they are not among the priority group. When I read out the guidelines of Ministry of Health, they only mentioned that people above age of 50, the health workers, and also those who are having health complications. Then teachers were like just an add-on. So it is not a priority. And even the students themselves, it is not a priority. Last time we saw Makerere saying, for us we have secured the vaccines for our students. I also saw Chivuli Nursing School saying, for us we managed to talk to the people in charge to secure for our students. Meaning that it depends now on the personal relationship between you and maybe the vaccination center to secure. But it is not open that it may be when you're a student, when you go there, you can be taken as a priority. Therefore, we also call upon other players like the private school owners. We saw them when the minister told them, if you cannot afford the sale of your schools. But for us as students leaders, we are much concerned of our fellow students who are within those institutions. So if you tell the owner to sell and sales of the school, then where are those students going to go? Because they are commencing, they are continuing with their studies. We are looking up to the tertiary institutions where you can hardly change that this year I'm studying in Kyambogo, the other year will be in Makerere. So if you tell them to sell off their institutions, are you looking at the students within those institutions? So that's why we are calling upon a number of players that we should join with one single voice. First of all, to use the formal means, like engaging other authorities. We have a parliament. Their role is to look through this. The Ministry of Education, it has shown us that really they have no alternative, or they have no plan out. The Ministry of Health, you can see they are only prioritizing a specific group. Can we take this to the parliament? But also, can we continuously speak out? We have been reaching out to several other guild leaders and several students who have a good will for ensuring that each and every Ugandan can access education, most especially quality and affordable education. And our suggestions as we have been coming on board that we are taking gestures to engage these authorities. But when they refuse, we are agreeing on a date when to call back our students. We won't tell them you come back. If institutions are quiet, they are getting money right now, they are being paid salaries. But the academic business is not ongoing. The professors within these institutions, they are quiet, they are silent because they are being paid, they get their allowances, and instead of advising government, they are very reluctant. We also saw the cabinet itself of Uganda cutting the budget for education, but the professors themselves are very quiet because maybe they fear to lose their jobs. There is no any way how they can operate when they don't have enough money. But given that they prioritize their salaries, that's why they are silent. So they don't have the operational monies to run these institutions. I have evidence for that and I'm sure of what I'm talking about. But we are saying that if we are to commence with education, these institutions must be supported in terms of upgrading their health facilities. Where we found the challenges when we went back last time, and these institutions, their health centers did not have enough capacity to even check, test or treat COVID. That's where we found the challenge. That's why we're telling government, can you add more money to these institutions to make sure that they can upgrade their health facilities? Can you add them more money that in case they don't have enough infrastructure, they can put temporary infrastructure to ensure that at least we have social distancing as learning and teaching goes on. So we are calling upon students to take all necessary actions and to disobey these unlawful and all these hoodwinking guidelines which are being issued out by the different authorities.